Enterprise Development Fund as a board member of a period of 3 years. And earlier on, we had looked at his other academic qualifications, which are very shiny. Should I use that word?
Thank you very much, Miriam. Very shiny and a shiny, bright boy. Very bright young man whose life work-wise was cut short by his boss, Chebukati. So now, Miriam, looking at the basis of the elections of 2022, it hinges on electronics. We are all saying we must vote electronically. Already the IEBC has got a problem that 3G communication networks have not gone to all places where the returning officers can bring back the results, where some of these things must be done, where registration of voters, education of voters. We already have a problem in the elections timetable so far. To my editor's memo, I don't think the 2022 elections have been prepared properly. The preparations are not adequate. My journey begins from here. First, we selected the commissioners too late. They are only 2 months or a month old now, settling in place. They are beginning to, we have not registered the voters. If you look at the numbers, some of the numbers that are unregistered are bigger than the numbers that are registered, Miriam. I hope you have seen in some place. There is no incentive for registration. There is no announcement for registration. There is no announcement for voter education. There is no curtailment of campaigns and public campaigns, all violations of the Public Act, Election Act. The MPs have refused to endorse the capping for the money. You don't know how much money anybody can bring, even 20 billion, and buy all Kenyans to vote for him. That has been rejected by the MPs. So it is an election, a journey which has got a lot of potholes. So these potholes and the pitfalls that we see on the way might actually bring us a result that is not conducive for the people of Kenya. Therefore, it is very, very important, Miriam, when looking at this appointment of the chair for the Communication Authority of Kenya, what does it entail? It entails to communicate, it entails to regulate the media, social media, television stations, those that are broadcasting alarming, violent, and other things for them to follow. Otherwise, they will be switched off. What is, from the experience that we've got from Africa, government communication systems are usually used by the government. We saw the elections in Tanzania. We saw the elections in Malawi. We saw the elections in Uganda across. The same pattern followed. And the communication systems were switched off. Is it the right time for the appointment? Yes. It has stayed without a general manager, a CEO, answerable to the questions to the parliament. We had an acting general manager, a chief executive officer, a lady who has been there, worked in that institution for a long time. how is the relationship within him and the Chebukati, the man who sacked him? That's where the trouble of Kenya's elections begin. Because we are going to see rivalry coming back. That is, we needed to balance these things. How capable is Chiloba? Chiloba is capable of working independently, precisely, and to the point. He is a very good hard worker. And he has a lot of background on ICT. And I think, Miriam, you talked about his program. His certificates show you how able he is in management and who can relate with ICT, which is the norm of today. So for me, in a summary, as the editor, the memo, I am very happy that President Uhuru Kenyatta is taking steps towards making a fair, transparent, free, accountable elections. I submit.
All right. Thank you so much. Sharon Agitonga, the points that a doctor has raised, others we'd already touched on in the morning, but is also underscored, and particularly a word that he used there about the rivalry that perhaps is expected to ensue between Chiloba, being the heading the Communications Authority, and his former employer, the IEBC chairperson, Chebukati. How will that work out when it comes to the preparations of free and fair elections? Is this likely to hamper a smooth preparation of the elections, or will this bring in the baggage of even, some Kenyans might think, why are you bringing this person here, owing to the history he's had before?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Miriam, for that question. And thank you, Dr. Matanga, for your submission on the same. However, today I think I'll tend to disagree, because I think, just like you mentioned in the first show, I was concerned about the timing in itself. It speaks volume. And it is actually drawing a suspicion, having in mind that and works hand in hand, with the Communications Authority of Kenya. But again, I don't think, just like, Dr. Masanga said, we are clearly, not ready for these coming elections, because looking at how the events are unfolding, from unpreparedness, from, the Treasury not having released funds, from, having the mass voter registration not being yet rolled out, and among all other, we have so many loopholes that need to be filled. Yeah. And for me, I don't really, I am foreseeing this as a recipe of trouble and tragedy, where when Chiloba comes back, and from where I sit, I best believe, he has a hand to, the mismanagement of 2017 elections. So I don't know if we would really be convinced that we will have him again on board, considering that he was also sitting on the technical bit of it. And when we look at people like, there's a statement I saw of Oburu Odinga where he said that they've always been winning elections, but there has been, some altering here and there where systems are concerned. But now my biggest concern is, are we really expecting to get different results by putting the same people who have been there and altered the results? How are we foreseeing this? So for me, I am foreseeing tragedy. Yeah. And I don't think this is really going to work unless I cannot see this working.
Okay, Thank you so much. And I've seen a couple of conversations by Kenyans who are divided on this matter. The same way now you're disagreeing with a bit of what Dr. had said there earlier. And so the ones who are complaining, especially who are seen to be allied to the Jubilee Party, about why are you bringing this person back, owing to, whatever happened last time. And I think when I was reading some of the information from what happened in last elections, the reason why he was even removed from the IEBC, he refused to appear to give an inquiry about an audit that was done. There was some financial mismanagement. We've talked about this here, before, that happened in the IABC, and he refused to go there and give account to what had happened, being the CEO of that commission at that time. And so there are people who perhaps voted for Jubilee Party the other time who are raising concerns as to why you're bringing Chiloba. And the other side who are allied to the opposition are saying, but the elections last time you told us were free and fair, and Chiloba organized that. So why are you having problems him going to the Communications Authority now if, you've been saying the elections were free and fair? So what is the problem? Samuel Tavish.
Thank you so much, Miriam. Thank you to Dr. David Masanga all the way from London. And of course, Sharon Gitonga for the submissions that you've made. Miriam, we understand that in the face of this particular appointment of Ezra Chiloba, the most critical institution, especially at a time when we head into the high-octane politics, that is 2022 general election, Miriam, that there's no hope really for the people of Kenya that we're going to be guaranteed of a free, fair, and credible election. Because, Miriam, there's an aspect of mindset as well. There's an aspect of psychology. The people of Kenya, when you revert back to 2017 and the bungled presidential election, one which was contested at the Supreme Court, we all know what indeed happened. We can't quite say authoritatively that maybe it is Ezra Chiloba who had a hand in bungling that particular presidential election. But indeed, when you are at the helm of leadership, the most important thing more often is to come out and own up to the problems that have been occasioned, even if it is not your own acts of commission or omission. But we haven't quite seen Ezra Chiloba come out and confess or even own up to the mistakes that saw the presidential election being nullified in 2017. It was such a serious matter that almost saw this country go to the brink of collapse, that almost saw Raila Odinga also swear himself in as the people's president. Those are not things that we really want to promote or encourage. But when there are certain things that make or inform decisions on the part of the members of the public, especially for the people who hold such critical offices, it is important for us as a nation and as a people, and even as analysts and observers, to make critique of some decisions that government agencies or even government institutions, including ministries, make. Because by the end of the day, we will be judged and asked where were we when all these things happen. I mean, we have chosen to remain objective on this particular matter, Miriam. Much as it portends a very big hullabaloo, it is a wave of fiasco for the people of Kenya. When you're talking about the IEBC, which is not adequately prepared, Dr. Masanga has highlighted ably on that particular matter, that we have the commissioners who have come in place barely a month when you are heading into an election about 9 or so months, August, if we are to remain with the same calendar. And you have the IEBC chair who is facing a lot of course, criticism from all quarters. In fact, this morning you read, Miriam, that there's a petitioner who wants IEBC chair Wafula Chebukati actually removed from office, and if necessary, really jailed for his failure to open up the servers as directed by the Supreme Court in 2017 August. Miriam, when you look into all these accusations and charges on the part of Wafula Chebukati and Ezra Chiloba, who was the CEO of the IEBC at that particular moment, and we also understand that IEBC had put a lot of blame, had heaped a lot of blame on the Communication Authority of Kenya for failing really to give out the network, the 3G connectivity network to the rest of the country, in itself also hampering the works of IEBC. What are we saying in a nutshell or in essence? I think Dr. Masanga said it. As a country, I think the bottom line is we are not prepared to conduct the election. The IEBC commissioners, as we speak, we do not have trust as Kenyans. You go out there and speak to Kenyans, they will tell you we would have wished Chebukati is out of office if we are to be guaranteed of a free, fair, and credible election, one which every Kenyan really will have trust in. You go to a Kenyan today, we've seen on Twitter and everywhere, people are asking, how come we blessed the Bengal 2017 general election on part of IEBC, in which Ezra Chiloba forms a big part of it, being the CEO by then, and being also appointed to head the most critical institutions such as the Communication Authority of Kenya. I think if you are not serious, Miriam, we will be setting up this country for chaos. We are setting up this country for anarchy. It is important for us to go back to the drawing board and do things right. If we continue patching things the way we are doing, if we cannot do a total and a complete overhaul of the critical institutions, we can stagger and say, let's have an election, maybe say next 2 years. Because IBC itself, I will tell you, Miriam, these people, they need enough time to be oriented to the task that is ahead of them. You cannot tell me that barely a year to the election, that the new commissioners, almost all of them, apart from the chairperson, can really be abreast of what should be done at the IEBC. We have a secretariat whose, of course, existence is also in dispute, who the Kenyan people do not have trust in. So you're also bringing in the person who actually exited in a very awkward situation, the IEBC being appointed again to head the Communication Authority of Kenya. So what are we telling the people of Kenya today? That are we really prepared to conduct this election? I think my answer concurs with that of Dr. David Masanga, that indeed Kenya is not adequately prepared to have this election. Unless, therefore, we are just saying that let's have election nonetheless. It does not matter what is going to come out of it. But I want to submit, Miriam, that if we really love this country, if we are so patriotic for our nation, we should do a different thing altogether this time around, so that we do not do the same thing the same way and expect a different results. If those are the things that made us fight, make us to contest elections, but we still want to do them not in a different way, the same way, then we should expect maybe more worse situation come 2022 post-election 2022. That's a bit, Miriam.
Okay, thank you so much, Samuel Tawish. And I think through the appointment of Chiloba there as the Director General, I believe, of the incoming Director General of Communications Authority, one would think as if, Communications Authority is an affiliate to IBC. No, it's not. Communications Authority was established in 1999 by the Kenya Information and Communications Act in 1998, and authority is responsible for facilitating the development of the information and communications sector, including broadcasting, cybersecurity, multimedia telecommunications, electronic commerce, postal, and courier services. And its main role is consumer protection. It looks after our interests, those who consume all these services. So that is the main, role of the Communications Authority. And they have a bigger role, of course, when it comes to, commissions like IEBC rolling out their work. They work in tandem because they offer some services, and an important role they play when it comes to, communications. All right, and they will be responsible for ensuring IEBC has its 3G that is needed to ensure a smooth transmission of the results in any election. So that is why it is a very important institution. Doctor, you're back.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
I've been back.
All right.
Watching.
Good.
And listening carefully. I have listened to Sharon. Sharon presents very serious, what do I call them? Very serious reservations. Mm-hmm. And they are genuine reservations. Tawish and I, we present, we are optimism. What do we call ourselves?
Yeah, optimistic.
Optimistic. Mm-hmm. But I think after Sharon also bringing in something, I felt I better stand on the fence. You know why? What is the trigger of violence in Kenya? What triggers violence in Kenya?
Our electoral process.
Yes. So if we don't have it right, if the courts refused activism, if you go to my page, you'll see what I've written about the rogue judiciary. Instead of them playing activists, instead of them safeguarding the interests of the Constitution and the rule of law, they have become activists. In fact, the judges in Kenya have become more of defense lawyers. Do you know that? The DPP finds himself in a cornered place because even the judges, the evidence he takes there, the judges side with the defense. The cases, most of them in Kenya are for the defense, who has paid high. Remember, in Kenya, the highest paid man is the defense lawyer, like a Harvey. That's why you see Harvey walks over everybody's body ahead. He doesn't care. He's well paid. He looks at your case and says, I want 10 million. And if you don't have 10 million, you rot up in committee. So when we have judges that have become more or less of defense lawyers than custodians of the Constitution, we have that problem. That's one. Problem number two, judicial activism coupled with bad management at the IEBC, which Sharon has brought out, can trigger a crisis. Judicial management coupled with bad management at the IEBC. Remember, technically last time, round one, Jubilee lost because the IEBC could not tell the people where they threw the ballot, spoiled the ballot papers. We have not found that solution up to date. Chebukati, in all his appearance, is my friend now. I told you I will not criticize him much because I found him and he told me the truth. I kept off. But I've been, listing this cocktail of disaster, cocktails of problems coming one by one, to compound it all, as if to send a signal to some people who have been running around in the country that there is chaos. There will be, because this is an appointment you can't revoke. The court cannot revoke the appointment of a managing director by the president. He's not going to go to parliament. But the appointment to that key position I'm telling you, frankly speaking, it has sent away shockwaves. Some people are not having good nights. Because technically, the CA can say, we don't want to deal with that company. We don't have the network to accommodate the company that IEBC has contracted to do its what, Miriam? Its data and so on. That's it. Then the election is flawed. The election is flawed. So we still have a great difficulty, and I agree with Sharon that we are on a slippery slope. On the other side, Miriam, as I conclude, because our time has really run, I wanted to finish this under 30 minutes, but unfortunately I entered late. The same danger. Why you Kenyans? And then don't worry about the view, how many people are listening. They will take the tape later and listen. One of the things that has brought Kenya to a very very well-known position worldwide is violence. That Miriam, can you mention how many things that have made Kenya very proud in the worldwide? One of them is running. We have very good runners. We have very, very poor footballers. We have animals in Mara, one of the wonders of the world. Can you mention, please help me.
Yeah, and we have, of course, the one that we really don't like it mentioned so much, that is electoral violence.
Yes. Oh, no, I was going to come down on that one.
And we are also known for serious graft.
What?
Serious days or serious
corruption.
We are number 7. We are number 7 on the list of international graft trackers. Number 7 in the world. Can you believe that? Those are factors that make a country tick. There is another factor, Sharon. What other factor makes Kenya very beautiful, very good, or well-known worldwide? The Rift Valley. The Maasai, where my friend comes from Kilgoris. In the United States, when somebody sees you wearing the Maasai shuka, they know it comes from Kenya.
We have Mombasa, which is very unique. It's unique, sandy beaches and yeah.
Yeah, you are known for a holiday, Mombasa. Yes. What else? There's something very, very, very important which you have forgotten.
Can I say from where I'm from, we have a cash crop.
Mira.
Mira, yes.
You eat it?
No.
You better try. And but there is something again very, very good that makes Kenya tick. And that something is called hospitality. You are the most hospitable. What hospitable?
Hospitable.
Hospitable people in the world. Did you know that? I'm getting this from my head. You are the most hospitable people. You have helped. You have generated presidents. Kagame was a taxi driver. He's left some people. We worked with them. Didn't you see them? We don't want to say when he's listening. Kagame, Museveni, Obote, Nyerere, they all came to Kenya. Matsanga. You never know. Maybe God has kept one day, I don't want to say this, then my boss, my president can look for me and finish me before I even say anything. I respect the Kenyans' hospitality. You are well known for good heart, good administration, hospitality. You welcome several refugees across the world. They come to Kenya, they get what they want, they keep themselves. You have thousands and thousands of refugee camps. The biggest refugee camps in the world are found in Kenya. And you have never said no, close the doors to those. You still have your refugee office, a full department, a full ministry, almost in charge of refugees. That makes Kenya. But the most negative thing, which everybody is worried about, which Uhuru Kenyatta wanted to make it very clear it goes away, is electoral violence. It has taken you all the time. It has taken you to The Hague. It has come back. You have now gone back to The Hague. You know very well the case is going on of Mr. Gicheru. I don't know whether Miriam is following it. It is going on. The things coming from there are not very good. Electoral violence. That's why the topic of today, the editor finds it. If we had to accept BBI, if we had to accept a redemption strategy, we go through these elections. Why is Ruto go slow on Uhuru? Why was he going hard on Uhuru? And today he goes slow on Uhuru because strategy has changed. Medium, frankly, the mountain is changed. You know, those are the men who were in that park are the men I worked with Kibaki. When Kibaki called me to go to Kenya to help this ICC advice. Those are the men. And you cannot, if they are not on your side, you have to fight so hard. Remember the fight in Mount Kenya where Sharon comes from. Is not now. It is that last day. In Kiambu, why Kiambu got almost 2 million votes. You remember? Kiambu delivered almost 2 million votes for Uhuru Kenyatta. Every patient who was in the hospital was carried on a stretcher. And when they said Umundu means Umundu, Munduwef, what is it? What do they say in Kikuyu? You are not, you are from, the name is from here and the other one. Mundua Nyumba. That is it. Finished. It is like, they are like the Baganda. They vote in my country. Baganda vote that way. When they like you, they will give you. They don't care. And I'm telling you, if you climb them, the way Ruto climbed, have you noticed that Ruto's people are running away? Some of them are shy. They are now shy. They are beginning to say, we took a wrong strategy. If you have 10 men of money coming, ganging on you, and you have no money, you bank in their bank, they simply say the account is zero. No, when they say the account is zero during elections, what will you do? And they deny you the money you want. Have you looked at the scenario? What will you do? You go to court when people are wanting money. Ruto brought a system of money, giving money handouts. It can't work. Look at what Governor of Kitui is doing. Good work. Opening factories that give people employment. So in conclusion, the editor's memo finds that the road towards 2022 is littered with pitfalls of insanity. I submit. I agree to balance Sharon and balance ourselves and balance Miriam. I think you have the same opinion. It is littered with a lot of insanity. But the insanity has been brought because one side went wrong, or two sides, Ruto and the judiciary. Had they accepted the BBI, we would not be where we are now. And the contention against Chiloba is going to grow as we go. As his first action is to warn some television stations from broadcasting the bias. You get my point? That's where things are. Because that is his role. You get my point? That is his role, to switch you off. If you have been known for broadcasting a radio, you are known for broadcasting things, calling upon people to get clubs and go and fight, they will switch you off. So that's why you see some sides in Kenya are not running, are not eating food properly. Some of them are thinking of eating extra chapati instead of rice. So I submit, Miriam, that yes, Chiloba is competent, yes, but there is a question as to whether there is enough voter education, registration to conduct these 2022 elections. I see obstacles ahead. The laws have not been made. We delayed. So the best for Kenyans to prepare for this is to extend the time of elections such that some constituencies, if they are not done now, they will not, some people in Kenya will live without a constituency. I don't know whether Tawishi is affected, whether you are still under Kirigoris, but some constituencies will not, some people in Daragwa, in Nyandarua, will not have a constituency. They will not have an MP because the boundaries have not been done. So it is better, looking at all those circumstances, it's better to iron and do a proper structured election than a half-baked hazard election that could lead us into mere chaos. Finally, I submit, Miriam. And then that's the editor's memo, that's the end of it. Unless there's anything else, I just want to thank you very much for the courtesy, the tenacity, steadfastness that you have handled the station while I am away. And thank you very much. Continue with the spirit, working for the better Kenya, a united Kenya, a unit of purpose, a legacy of purpose of President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Thank you.
All right, thank you. That's where we end the show. I'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.